Okay, I want to move on real quickly. Jonah, I want to talk about the Afghan refugee situation and them coming to America. And where does that stand right now?
You can have a problem with that whole operation in Afghanistan, but I think you can also appreciate the incredible effort of basically airlifting more than 100,000 people out of that country. What you don't see on the cameras are where those planes land and where those people are going. The refugees are not going to nearby Pakistan, India. They're not going to other nations in the Arab world or in the Arab League. They're probably going to Europe, or they're coming to the US. And this is probably one of the few times in my history here in North Carolina where Speaker Tim Moore and Durham Mayor Steve Schewel are actually in agreement where they say, let's bring the refugees to North Carolina. And I think here, again, this is one of my favorite sayings, two things can be true at the same time. We can absolutely want to welcome refugees the same way America has always been that haven for immigrants. But we can also be wary of what kind of mix of lifestyles, and will they adapt to America? Will they adapt to our way of life? Will they be able to assimilate? Well, assimilate, you don't want them to kind of give up their heritage and give up their identity and cultural identity, but look at Europe. I mean, you have the Algerian, Tunisian, Moroccan populations there, a large Arab population, and after decades, they haven't been able to adapt. They live in kind of their own silos. There are
no-go zones in Europe.
There are no-go zones, and there creates a atmosphere where there could be some radical Islamic terror. And we've seen that in parts of France. We've seen that homegrown terror in London. We've seen it in Brussels. We've seen it in Spain. So all these refugees, who's vetting them? How are they being vetted? They were kind of lifted off frantically. So what is the protocol in place to ensure that all it really takes is one person, to get through that maybe shouldn't, and to create terror here in America?